Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and we're having another crack, so to say, New Zealand accent. Guys and girls, I don't know if this is going to work. I've been trying to use Streamlabs tonight, hasn't worked. I had it all set up. Not really sure what's going wrong. Let's see who's the first one to jump on, shall we? And say, hola, como estás? To Kaz. And it's Joseph Hannibal Barker. Ivan, great to have you here. How's your vodka going, mate? And Jacob, correct me, Romano, and Fire Live. Matty Man, always here. Guys, let me know straight up with thumbs down as soon as there's any audio dramas whatsoever, because I'm here for your pleasure, entertainment, your not necessarily gossip, but a little bit of life coaching / swapping of notes, etc. Pleasure. Fugly, good to have you here, mate. Stephen K., not Stephen King. Okay, yeah, horror novelist. We've got Jaden there. Lovely Madison. Having a good sip of the vodka. Well done. It's the housewife's choice because it doesn't actually have a taint on the breath when people get close to you in the old schoolyard. So I'll just repeat this quickly. Repeat is a word we don't use very often on the radios in the military because it normally means another fire mission. Continue what you're doing. Leo the Wanker, stuntman for life, earns his title. Well done. SL Imports. How you all going, Kaz and team? I'm going fine, mate. Let's just see how this goes. See if we can make it past the 10-minute, 15-minute mark. A lot's going on. Fergie, how you going, mate? Black Eyed Peas, love your music. Dane Smith. Dane, great Dane. I try to give you all your own little name and title there. Madison logbook was approved today, and I've booked in my driving test, slowly getting there. With a license comes freedom there of the dove. It opens opportunities for you. Just don't do anything stupid to lose it, yeah? Hannibal, how are we, Mr. P? Mr. P's here. First, the moderators, great to have you here, and well done to Mr. P, who saw his granddaughter catch her very first fish. Didn't go in the pan, but was big enough to do so. What happened was it was a catch and release. So it also teaches her about sustainable hunting. And fishing is hunting, isn't it? Guys and gals, before I start talking about Harry and the lessons we can learn from Harry and Meghan, and he's made a astronomical error here, and I'll explain why in a minute, especially from the military perspective, which would have been his legacy, his mantle, so to speak, the platform in which was going to allow him to make so much difference as opposed to being a voiceover in a Disney film. Yeah, under the cracking whip of Meghan, the broken woman who no doubt is like a dictator behind closed doors. Hey, Kane, how you going, mate? Tomorrow, guys, is a big deal. Tomorrow's the 21st, and we've got a bunch of our subscribers that are disembarking on the footsteps of the Anzacs to go to Kapuka. The trip starts tomorrow. They're already in locations, a lot of them in hotels, waiting to go to their muster to go and do oath or affirmation tomorrow and become qualified, sworn in, service number, dual law citizens. What I mean by that, now military law they've got to follow as well as civil law. And they're going to be held accountable for a term no less than 4 years. Tomorrow is the stepping into another world. It should be celebrated. If I had a hat, I'd take it off because it's the bravest thing that a soldier does. Because it's only training you've had as a human being from your parents, your friends, and sometimes they're not going to be partisan to your dreams. So that's a massive one. So what we're going to do, new business, and the Stephen K, is tomorrow I intend on, and Matty Man, I intend on going over to the recruiting station at the Sydney DFR, and I will be there for all of those that do not have parents that are going to be present, that can shake their hand, take a photo, put an arm around them and say, once we're warriors, or tomorrow we'll be warriors. No, we're soldiers. There's a difference. You can be a warrior and a soldier, special forces, good example. So it's going to be a massive one, and I'm looking forward to seeing the faces. I really am. And for those that realise there is someone behind them, what that can be is the foundation the start of a successful career where they also trust the chain of command, because this retired sergeant will be there in his own time and dime to go and see them, how they're going, and then take life from there. They're never going to be alone again. All right? Sounds like the start of a song. Where are you ducking and weaving to stay alive? I'm not sure what that one's about. SL Imports might be enlisted 2 months earlier. My original enlistment date is the 30th of March. That's pretty soon, but far enough away to be annoying for you. Snowy, good to have you here, mate. Hey, Big Kaz, good to see you, mate. Good to see you too, but I can't actually see you. I can just see your hieroglyphics, your name. I'm sucking it down on a coffee instead of a Coke at the moment. That's Coke, Coca-Cola, not the other word for rooster, cock. Guys and gals, I really miss the streaming. It feels like no matter how many videos I put up at the moment as productions, what I didn't realize was missing from the actual channel was the live streaming component, where I actually see the real comments coming in. You know, one-handed Lauren, g'day mate, how you going? Madison has some good news too. Sold some land. Looks like she's moving across the Dutch from Tasmania, the land of DOS heads, craniums, twice as smart, not so much, and moving over to the mainland, to New South Wales. Good state. I don't know if it's as good as Queensland, but the beaches are definitely better. Ivan, did you hear, Kaz, that my entire government resigned under the orders of the Supreme Leader and Tsar Lord Putin? As for the diggers about to go through my best wishes for the Brotherhood, I'd love to join them. So would I, mate. So would I. And Ed B, the good-looking, well-bearded original to the channel, one of my very first special people. Ed, why aren't you a moderator for this channel? I know you don't probably want to be. I know you're in a different time zone. I don't know what you're doing up at the moment. It's clear that you haven't had sex with White Chantel. Otherwise, you'd be asleep like a bloody inside cat. Can we get some thumbs up now to give me permission to make Ed B an honorary moderator as part of the channel? He's a 24 to 25-year US veteran who reached out to me at the start of my last channel. And together, what I say, what he says, often we go back and forth between each other to get what we think is the best chance of giving you the right answer. Yeah. Okay, we've seen some thumbs up from Russia there, so well done. Who else we got? We've got Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas giving you some thumbs up too, Ed B. I'm just waiting to see if Lauren and Mr. P say, yep, do it. Woohoo, moderator. Yeah. That means you've got to start using the metric system too there, young brother. Denominations of 10 US, they prefer to use the imperial method, but don't realize that they're using the metric system when they use their dollar every day. Salty. Lauren. Gosh, Madison, so awesome. I can't see the thumbs up from Lauren, but and Mr. P. Yeah, okay. We've got it. We've got it. 50% have said yes. What I'm going to do is right over here. You're seeing it here tonight, team. You're seeing it live. Ed B has now changed to the colour blue, which makes him New South Wales. You put a comment up, mate, and we're going to see it. We've got Joey Moyle there. Hey, Kaz and all. What does a moderator do, do you ask? A moderator is available to answer your questions in the comment section. It is to give them a promotion, so to speak, so that you know they have some clout, and it normally means they're also one of my advisors offline as we speak on. I haven't got the link down below because it's not my priority, but it should be yours if you want to join the military team. There's Ed B in blue. This is now, you don't know about this yet, but the people do that are part of Patreon. I'm never actually almost on Patreon at the moment because I'm answering messages, bang, as they come in. This is the Patreon bat phone. $5 a month that I give to other people means that you can be part of the inner sanctum, and it means you have a direct line to In the Trenches with Kaz, live coaching you while drinking coffee, while I'm spreading my legs walking down the street in rain, hail, or shine. So if you want to be part of that, if you need a more one-on-one line, if you need a way of contacting in those times you feel alone, then reach out and get in Patreon and help me to help other people while you help yourself. It's a good way of doing it. Having someone that is outside your family that can reach out and say to you right now, I'm on your corner, baby. Even to guys. We've got Ryan, that RY game guy gamer. He is our resident Twitcher. At the moment, he plays Hunt, Star Citizen, and Escape from Tarkov. So feel free to put your links up there, Ryan. And if people want to jump onto that, so be it. I don't mind people advertising your own channels. We are the Australian channel. Yep, we're an Australian channel. We're an emerging channel. We've been going for more than 4 years. For those that have just got here tonight, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You'd be a fool not to. And we're going to reach out and help you. Insomnia Stinks 0230 there. That's been my witching hour too, Ed B. It has really been chapping my ass like chap. Like pants that don't fit, full of salt water after having a marathon ride on a boogie board and wearing your nipples off because you didn't wear a bloody rash vest or a wetsuit in winter. You all know what that's like, and it sucks and it ruins your day. Fugly. All good, Lauren? Knew it wouldn't happen anyway. I'm not sure what that was about. Sorry, my guys. Hey, this is Total Ivan. Anyone know if he, has said anything about President Putin? Just wondering. He hasn't disappeared. He hasn't gone all quiet. Doesn't mean there's someone with a black hood on his doorstep. Not that they'd wear hoods over there. They'd just come and say, come with me, mate. But let's also, before we go back to talking about our lucky recipients tomorrow that have made it through the enlistment ceremony, we're about to start a second life tomorrow in the footsteps of the Anzacs, Harry and Meghan. I'm not normally one for gossip, team, but what the hell is going on? I'm sure all families have their secrets. I'm absolutely sure the royal family has many. But this is clearly a case of a lad that has met a girl, and let's not fake it. He's got red hair, which means he's automatically angry and probably not thinking he's going to do pretty well, because if you're not a great sportsman, you're not Ed Sheeran, and you're not Prince Harry, chances are you're not doing real well with the ladies when you've got the red hair, you know. It's a curse, some would say. But she is clearly giving him the ultimatum, me or them. Now, what's sad is if he walks away from his family and his duties, so be it. But he's also walking away from the military fraternity where he would have the honorary rank of Lieutenant General, you know, which puts you right at the top echelons of the entire army. You know, Field Marshal is the only higher rank. So he's said goodbye to all titles. He's said goodbye to basically being a royal to go over to Canada or Commonwealth. And I believe the reason they were going to do that was so they could still have all the comforts that afforded being in a Commonwealth country. And he's given up everything that is good about his life. And now he's moving over to be the partner of a celebrity who seems to be extremely high maintenance and extremely hard to please. He's got to follow his kid now because that's what you got to do. But I'll tell you what, she has really ruined this guy, really ruined him. You know, he is going to fade out pretty quick where he goes. And it's really sad that I saw him as the franchise that was going to have the royal family, regardless of what's going on with Andrew, revamped, restructured in a way where we could have seen a, what would you call it? The lifting, the exuberance, the glue between the Western world. But now what are we stuck with? You know, William is doing a fantastic job, you know, but at the same time, he's not very magnetizing, is he? So, guys, gals, be very careful getting stuck dating a Titanic because it will take you down. Timmy Doust, FM is held by HBH Duke of Edinburgh, Field Marshal. I didn't know that, Timmy. I didn't know that. Field Marshal's the highest, okay, and he's Lieutenant General, he would have been, which is weird because other than being royal, he doesn't have the nous to be a Lieutenant General. He doesn't have the the skill sets. He doesn't have the training. He doesn't have the tactical acumen to do that. He was in aviation in the British Army, and then he's about to skip up and be, I guess it's the same as being the Master in Chief. What do you call him about? Donald Trump. You know what I'm talking about. Kane. What's Lauren doing? Stay for, he must be Mr. Patterson. Lauren, is she out here? Kind of B grade. Lauren, do you want me to ring you up now and we'll have a quick talk about what's going on with Harry and the Titanium Cup is downstairs. I love the something phone, by the way. The bat phone. Gotcha. Lauren, can I ring you now and we can have a quick talk about what you see is from a woman's perspective, what's going on with Harry and Meghan and what life lessons can go out to the young people of our channel that are possibly dating at the moment? Because I'll tell you one thing from the point of view of someone who has left the military for mental health, etc., being PTSD, which I believe was more around moral injuries personally. But the psychologists never tell you to leave your partner. And that might be the thing that holds you in the past, that prevents you from healing. It could be the relationship you're in, not that it's toxic, but there's just no love. There's no joy. There's no colour in it anymore, if you think of Trolls, etc. Joseph Barker, let's go, Lauren. Yeah, there you go. The stalker's showing their face. Mr. Hannibal crosses the Alps, Transalpine Gaul, and here he is. Lauren. Okay. I don't know how loud this is going to be, so. Lauren.
Hello.
Hey, team, what do I need to say? I'm not going to hold you. You can't see your phone. Lauren is shining. There she is.
No, you're always so nice.
Your voice is the reason why ladies are so good in the Signals Corps for the military.
Mm-hmm.
When you've been listening to guys with hairy knuckles all day and then a lady's voice comes on, everyone turns Epstein in a second.
Oh, well, that's good. It's useful.
Well, so lovely, Lauren. For starters, congratulations from everyone that you've sold your block of land, and this is allowing capability for you to move into the land of the employed. But did you want to speak for 1 minute before we cover some of the local issues that are happening?
I'm happy to dive right in if you want. I'm so boring. I've just been editing a video. That's all I've been doing.
Well, we'll all be looking forward to seeing it now. Tim Dowse, Signals Corps. There you go. Mate, what's your spin? I haven't heard anyone other than being a media individual trying to put a positive spin on this. Everyone knows it's not good. It's quite tragic and sad because you're seeing an institution getting burnt down around its...
Well, is it though? I don't know if she's that important. You know, I think she would love to think she could bring it down, but I don't think any one person could bring down that much history. Even England couldn't bring its own monarchy down. They tried that for a blip in time, remember?
Yeah.
And they voluntarily brought the monarchy back. I don't think any one person could do that.
I think what it's done, but is it's made people take sides. Because naturally there's going to be the side where the feminist side automatically goes Meghan, go girl, which is the attitude that really comes from America, not so much Australia and UK, etc.
Yeah.
But I think people need to be careful of the message that they put out there, that it's a positive thing when really it's not. And it's a relationship mistake.
It breaks my heart for our Harry because we all fell in love with Harry when it zoomed in on that wreath he wrote Mummy for his mum's funeral. He became all of our child really then. You know, we all loved Harry. We all wanted him to do well. That just broke everyone's heart. And I think this is breaking everyone's heart again. How come he doesn't get to be a person?
Look, it's true. And no matter what happened in the past that has affected him, he had a perfect platform that gave him the ability to say to the Queen, okay, I've got some stipulations and they are my patron causes are going to be, whether it be animals in Africa, whether it had been PTSD for military, whether it be mental health, you name it. But all of that's gone now because everything he does is not covered by a title. the
And that's
celebrity is going to seep away because you can't afford that media.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think it's just really sad because, you know, he's actually very important in the wide veteran community. So we all kind of feel it, especially in the Commonwealth, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the first times the US actually really started to look at the UK and start to take notice and go, these cats are pretty cool. And,
well, it's part of their colonial history too. You know, we're kind of all related.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there was a lot of healing that had to happen between the UK and the US.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit.
Well, they can get angry at the UK from the War of Independence, but get on fine with Japan. You're going, well, the War of Independence happened more than 100 years before the fight with Japan, where Japan did a surprise attack on the US. Yeah, so exactly. The healing has been fantastic. And yeah, I just don't know where it's going to go from here.
I don't know. I also can't help thinking, you know, it's sort of crappy timing to do it. And it seemed a little bit, there always seems to be these little nasty coincidences that sort of follow Megan a little bit around, you know, like she announces her pregnancy at Eugenie's wedding. That's just rude, you know. Then she announces they're leaving the monarchy on Duchess Catherine's birthday. You know, it's like it's just little bit of grabbing attention, and I think that Hollywood and the royal family together is a little bit of a dangerous mix, if you ask me.
Look, it is, because one is a never-changing entity, being the royal family, which is pushed by customs, tradition, respect and discipline and finesse and education and qualifications, etc., and the backing of, you know, some very big things where celebrities and Hollywood is like an autistic drug addict, you know, where you don't know where the wind of change is going to take them. You know, sometimes there's a savant and it's awesome. Other times it's self-destructive, and it's really sad to watch.
Yep, that can happen. That happens a lot. But we've all got our self-destruct.
Yeah. No,
whether you let admin or whether you lean on a crutch or whether you're self-medicating or something. But fortunately, there is a lot of help out there. And that's, you know, one of the things is Prince Harry was one of those people who really broke the stigma for mental health in the vet community. And I think it's kind of, we're probably going to miss him.
Well, before Prince Harry, imagine if I had been having a YouTube channel where I was starting to talk about mental health, etc. People would have been, well, hey, go and check out this channel. There's a psycho speaking.
Yeah, exactly. People's perspective would have been entirely different. So I think they've wasted a great opportunity. I think, you know, like Meghan Markle has wasted a great opportunity. You know, what Duchess Catherine does, in my opinion, is wonderful. She's so graceful. She's such a figurehead.
Yeah. It's Billy Krasker. You going, mate? Hi, cousin, everyone. Great news. Set looks fantastic, mate. This is nothing at the moment. The Streamlabs didn't work, mate. This is the best of a worst situation. Let's talk about the bushfires, Lauren, for a second too. And I'll just quickly say before we go into it, you may think that in the trenches with Kaz has been fairly quiet on the platform that is the bushfires of Australia, and that has been deliberate. I'm more than happy to support someone like Bucko, Buckaroony, but I think what is going to follow this tragedy is a breaking of trust, like happened with Aceh in Indonesia when the tsunami happened, when we find out how many people's donations haven't made it to the source, how much admin was taken out of that money. And I can't stand people reaching in deep and giving to only not have their money ever make it or ever find out what it went for, or be used in another 4 years for something else with a 90% administration fee attached. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Well, Ed B, great news for you, mate. Ed B, for those guys and girls that don't know, Ed B, USA. Ed, the bushfires, most of those areas, mate, you know, all centering around the, what do you call it? I think it was very well done. The mascot that was the burning koala.
Exactly.
Rain is hitting almost all of these locations, not all, but most of them. There's some areas actually complaining about the amount of water now that is creating a toxin flow, which is runoff. So that's some good news for you, mate, that I did a rain dance with my daughter, and it seems to have worked across everywhere, including Tasmania. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have rain, but I believe you had some nasty hailstones today.
Yeah, I didn't get them here, and it annoys when they say they're as big as baseballs or as big as cricket balls, and then they hand up something that is big as an eyeball. You go and go and play some sports before you make those analogies. You're holding. I've got big balls. I haven't used them for 4 years.
Oh my God.
It's a national tragedy. But
too much information.
Okay.
You're making me blush.
And the world is watching. Harry might move over to you instead. Katie Baker, the lovely Katie Baker. Great to have you here, Fleetwood Mac. Katie's one of our lovely son children, Yeah.
Katie's awesome.
She is awesome, and you can find her on Instagram as well with her Fleetwood Mac wearing clothes.
Oh, yeah. That's a great feed.
Every one of her friends has got a smile, that's almost as big as someone from The Mask or something. They all look like they know something we don't know. They're happy as hell.
Yeah, I think they're loving life.
Yeah, it's great.
It is great.
Joseph Hannibal is saying, is it bad that he's donated to the bushfires? No, not at all, mate.
No.
Not at all. I'm just saying I didn't want to spearhead and be yet another agency that said, through me, give to a cause that I can't validate through a certain link, etc. That's all I'm saying. I would rather take the money from our Patreon and go and put it in the hand of a single family and say, this isn't to buy you a new rug or a new whatever. I want you to stay in a beautiful hotel with awesome air conditioning and eat Red Rooster on your chest and then not clean up before you leave. I'd rather give them that and Wet and Wild season passes. Ed B is saying, Lauren, they're not as big as he says. You don't know what a millimetre is. You meant M&M, didn't you? Timmy says, how do you know Ed? Well, Ed was one of the first people that got in contact with me in the trenches with Kaz 1. And it just so happened that, one, we both retired on military pensions for post-traumatic stress disorder. He was in the American Army. I was in the Australian Army. He had done exchanges to Australia. I'd done exchanges to the US. And I hope he's not listening, but we kicked their ass at everything we went against him with because we do more with less. And Ed B reached out to me, and I thought he was a stalker at first. Oh, let's Skype. I was going, always be careful of the people that come to you. And then when we met each other online, it was like, dude, brothers. He's into antennas. I'm into my antenna. But we both think the same, and he's got a lovely family.
And he has a great YouTube channel.
He does, but he hasn't put a video up for a little while. And we'd love him to get it going again.
Yeah, we would. It'd be great.
Katie says, awesome, the Kaz and Lauren show should be every Monday night. And Katie, there is absolutely no reason why we can't do that.
We do chit-chat a lot anyway.
Where is Mr. Kane? I saw him up there.
Who's there?
Kane, hey Kaz, Mr. Buckaroony raised $15,000 on the auction. It was amazing, mate.
Great. It was really good.
I didn't talk to him in chat to let him know I was there, either Ken or Roz that was there with him, his lovely wife, because I didn't want to distract him from the job he had at hand.
Yeah, exactly. Roz is lovely.
Joseph Barker says, I screamed my head off in the pub with the old man. What was that one for?
I don't know. What's he done? What's your dad do?
Huh?
What did his dad do?
His dad? I don't know.
What? Isn't that who he's talking about?
Joseph Barker, I screamed my head off in the pub with the old man.
About the fight.
Oh, the Conor McGregor fight. I went and watched that. I don't know. Did you watch it, Lauren?
No, I didn't watch it. I was drawing.
I'll tell you one thing. Not necessarily the Conor fight. I'll get to that, but the fight with Holly Holmes. She is my favourite female fighter.
Oh, is that with the knee controversy?
Oh no, she's a magnificent boxer, one of the best female boxers, but she never threw a punch basically the entire fight. She came in like she was like ADD, Ritalin, red cordial. She just could not stand still, and you thought she is going to explode. And she did nothing. She didn't try to take the girl down. She hugged her. She prevented her from hitting, but didn't hit. It was the most pathetic fight from such high caliber female fighters. If I was, and now she admitted it in the chat afterwards, and then Joe Rogan was talking to her, and she started saying something about possibly looking at a title fight. You're going, if I was Dana White, I'd be saying to her, you ever fight like that again, and UFC letters that aren't going to be attached to your name, it was a disgrace.
Yeah.
I thought Conor McGregor I was really bummed by his approach to the fight. I thought, what is going on? Is this guy not been training and he's just here for the payday? And how's this one, Lauren? They were saying that there is an estimated $80 million going to Conor McGregor for the fight yesterday. Not from the UFC. He had a $3 million card for winning or for turning up regardless. But for his sponsors and all different people, I reckon it's going to be $80 million. Cowboy Cerrone, that's had the most fights in history in the UFC, was getting $200,000 to fight, and another $200,000 only if he won.
Wow.
You've got to say the disparity. No one can complain about gender pay gaps when that shit's going on.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it's a fairy tale, the pay gap anyway.
Well, look at Ash Barty. She got by twice the highest money that's ever been won by a tennis player for playing half a game of men's tennis. Yeah. And she got 6.7 million. Yet if you're in the UFC, the ladies will fight 5 rounds like the men fight. Yep. So I think the UFC ladies should talk to the ladies in some of the other sports and go, if you want to get paid, then you need to be out there for the same amount of time.
Exactly. It seems like a simple formula. I had to do the same amount of tattooing as the men next to me to get paid the same amount. I couldn't have just done half of it and got paid the same.
Lovely Lauren is a renowned tattooist team. Not just a tattooist in her own right. I'm not trying to blow you up here, love.
No,
but she's also trained people that are now great tattooists as well. So she's had apprentices. She is Lord of the Ring.
You crack me up.
Yeah. What else is going on at the moment? Hey, Sarah.
What else is going on? What's going on with the people in chat?
I think at the moment it feels like there's a lot of good talking going on. And this is the least amount of military chat I think we've ever seen, because we took it away from that a bit. This is an Australian channel team.
But it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there if you ask the questions. But when you talk about general communication topics, then people tend to sit with that and they talk about that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Edby and Kaz, this is what defines us. It does define us, our military career. We're here to help you. We're here to give you the best chance of going, you told me so. I listened to what you said. Thanks very much. You got me there at the Yellow Brick Road. It wasn't easy, but you told me that too.
Exactly. The listen is the key word there. You have to be able to listen.
What's the best bit of advice that you would give someone, Lauren, from your perspective, now that you're nearly 22 years old?
You're so nice.
and the best advice you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Start thinking about that too, chat, because I want you guys to answer this one too. The best bit you've ever heard and the best advice you would give.
Okay. Well, I think it's pretty simple. the best advice I've probably ever heard is the same piece of advice that I would give people, and it's what my dad told me. And he just said to me, "Just always keep your nose clean." And he just means just keep out of trouble. Just always try and live your life, have fun, find the boundaries, but keep out of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's that simple.
And one of the only ways to keep out of trouble is to not be a conformist, to be honest with friends and say, stop, stop. I'm going to use something for an example, and don't be offended, anyone here. When you look at anything that is a gang-related attack, crime, etc., against a female, or whether it be against whatever, that should be impossible. There should be someone within that group of common sense that goes, guys, we're all going to jail. Or, hey, dudes, what are we doing?
I believe there's a thing called like group psychology where our actual boundaries change if we're in a group of peers or people we want to impress or people we're afraid of even.
Mob violence, yeah.
So we change who we are. We do things in a group that we would not normally ever do on our own.
And that's true. And that's where we can end up with real moral injuries of our own. And I guarantee every one of you out there has got a cringe part of your life where you look back on, and don't share it with us unless you want to, where you just go.
Like cringe moments.
I love them too, because chances are I've done it as well.
No, probably not mine. I once I used to be a catwalk model like many lifetimes ago, and I once got caught up on the backdrop and pulled it down and exposed all these half-dressed models at the back. So, no, I've had some pretty cringy moments.
You're a saint. You're a saint. That's not too wild. Everyone there would have been gay or female, or both.
I just pretended it wasn't me.
How's this for a bit of advice from Ed B? And I've got some experience in this one too. Best advice that Ed B ever heard was following a man with a metal detector in Iraq said, "Step where I do." That was good advice.
That's good advice.
When I've told you this before, Ed, but the crowd has an Ashes here. Advice you, do you want to be right or happy? That's true, because you can't always be both.
Yeah, exactly. Right or happy.
I walked into a minefield that was clearly marked in Rwanda while we were there, one of the heaviest and concentrated mine locations in the world. And I walked into there, and Lumpy was with me. Yeah. And so was Honeyman, so was Blue Wernham, and a bunch of other people. Mm-hmm. And, I remember looking at them like, what can you do? So I've got skinny legs, but my feet are the same size as everyone else's. and so I basically just walked out with attitude. You're like, Danny, what are you saying there, mate? Don't be saying that sort of shit.
I didn't say it.
That's garbage. I'm not going to repeat it.
And he's on it.
Sorry?
Mr. Patterson sorted that out.
Yeah, bam. That's bullshit. That's immaturity at its greatest. And Danny boy, I think you just don't, I'm not going to get involved in that one.
No, I didn't even see it. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah, don't feed him. Let him say what he wants. He's clearly a kid. Yeah. And if he's not, he's clearly a coward, because you wouldn't say it out loud. He beat me to it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it is kind of fun when you're the first one in there.
Dave D, the accidental amputee. For those that don't know, poor bloody Dave D, our moderator there, highlighted in blue with Ed above him in blue, just about to join the military as an officer, climbs a tree to show his kid that he's part Tarzan, falls out of the tree and does as much damage as you can humanly do. The only thing keeping his leg together was tendons and British-looking, weird, Asian cropped hair on his leg, keeping his bloody leg together. Open fracture. It was horrible.
I really appreciated you guys sending me the photos. It was gruesome and great. Thanks.
It wasn't any worse than bloody Panzer. Some of the videos you tried to make us watch, and you go, no, not watching those.
Let's change the conversation.
Donald J. Trump is here tonight. Commander-in-Chief. That's what I meant to say before. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you're the Donald Trump on Instagram that bought a Ranger a Raptor a couple of days ago.
I think
But
it is.
Ed B, you don't want to be teasing this guy, you know. This is what a lot of people don't understand. A Ranger Raptor or the F-150 Raptor in the US, Ed, tell us how much it is roughly, mate. In Australia, it starts between $140,000 and $180,000. Yep. Over there, I think it's 62 grand. That's really pulling the chain, isn't it? That's crazy. It is. It's our Don J. Trump. Love the Raptor. Does everyone know that Donald Trump? I don't know if I'm going to get myself in the shit if I mention the name, because conservatives aren't allowed to talk in this world. I'm a conservative. I don't sit on the fence unless it's blunt and lubricated. But but Donald Trump has just signed multiple deals which make it look like it is the biggest deals in the history of the world, with Japan, with China, and with the USMCA, which is with Canada and Mexico. And it looks like, and the tariffs are still on China in a lot of ways,
yeah.
And it looks like now they are the biggest exporter of oil, etc., in the world as well. So
I heard that.
it's amazing for these people. And I want every country to think, make Australia great again, make Tasmania great again, and come to Australia, come back. You know, USA, Mexico, all those. If you need some help, no worries, but let us help our own family first, because all the countries that we gave to, including Arche, etc., I didn't hear anything from them with our bushfires, and we don't have to hear it.
No.
But come on, team. If
we don't help them, so they'll help us. But it's just polite. It's just friendship, isn't it?
Yeah. We just got Cesar Rooney 85, who has just subscribed to the channel, mate. That's.
Oh, really? We've got a new sub?
Yeah. If you're a new sub, let us know down here. And thank you very much for joining an Australian channel. Because conversation is one of those things that's getting harder and harder to do. And what you're going to get here is honesty. You're going to get topics you can talk about tomorrow. We're going to give you a platform where if you want to, you can speak on the phone and let people hear your voice with a subject matter expertise that you have, or strong opinion that is based semi on fact, and a little bit of fake news is okay as a spicy sauce as well. What's okay? Warwick really deserves the rain. Yeah, Warwick, and you're getting that too, aren't you? Okay. Stickman, Australia on the way to being South China. I think a lot of that's going to change, Stick. I think there's a lot of conversations that are happening between the USA and Australia, and I think some of that was dealt with. Now, someone asked before about Scott Morrison. What do I think about him at the moment falling in the polls? This is going to happen, team. He is getting attacked, by the left. He's getting attacked by mainstream media because they need something to talk about. He went on holiday. Okay. Sorry, dear?
He kind of made it easy for them, though.
He did?
He does make a few mess ups. But at this point, I just don't want to change Prime Minister again.
Yep, that's right. We need someone to build an innings, someone to learn from their mistakes, someone that loves Australia, someone that doesn't, like Anna Bligh, trying to work for the banks after their career in politics.
Yep. Someone
that says, and you should have to retire, no jobs, no public speaking after you've actually been the head of a nation. You can't step down to another job, an advisor role, etc. Go and buy a boat and a fishing rod and hang out with your lady. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
Mainstream media and the left, one and the same. Absolutely, Ed B.
Right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
MSNBC came out today and said on US radio, US TV, that we don't have a single person that supports Donald Trump. Therefore, you will never hear lies come from our media. So you've got an entire endorsed news agency that is undermining the success of your nation. That's a terrorist organization. That means that even when he does something good, they're not allowed to support it. So they'll go the opposite, which means they're actually doing a propaganda campaign against the leader's nation that is putting money and making and kicking goals for the country.
Yeah.
If you're not on the team of your country, then what the hell are you?
Exactly. Go where you want to go. We can in this world now. If you're in the Western world, you can go pretty.
Who's not scared of the left? That's what we need.
Yeah.
Someone who's not scared of the left.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of people around who aren't that scared of the left. Like, because to be honest, they're kind of not that scary anymore, really.
Well, they're the village idiot, and now there's too many of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got too many different organisations.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
People can see what they're actually trying to do now. Billy says, Kaz, our pollies have to get off their asses. Our farmers could lose big time with the US-China deals. I agree, mate. I agree. What the answer will be, I don't know. But I believe that the safest thing they can do is stick with assisting the USA with what's going on and making up for the $50 billion worth of farming merchandise, etc., that's required from China, from the US now with the new deals. And our farmers, we've really got to look after them.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. Is PooTube going bad?
PooTube?
Is it bad?
What's that?
Leo said.
Leo. I hope not. Is YouTube going down a bit, is it?
They say. It's okay.
Trump will romp in 2020? Absolutely. Yeah, he will. But the success of the USA, whether we like it or not, it hurts us. It hurts us. But would you rather them be doing well? Would you rather them be doing bad? I'd rather them be doing good. Of course. Exactly. Yeah. You cannot buy land in China, but who would want to? Yeah, good point. Good point. There's a lot of countries that say, hey, look, you can't buy land. Look, this is the thing. We can blame as many people in different countries as we want, but let's face the fact. This is all about human interaction. When modernization happens and technology happens and comfort happens, and some of that is not available in rural areas, the ladies will move to the city for where the comfort is, job opportunities that are more about their intellectual prowess than their physical ability to swing a pick. And from there, when there's no ladies, if you can't dance like Kevin Bacon in a rural town, then you need.
I know how to swing a block splitter. I chop my own wood.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. The only hose you're going to find in rural Australia these days are tools.
Yeah, exactly. Busy for those kind of shenanigans.
Yeah. So the young boys are going to chase the young girls all the way to the city, and then they're going to stay there because there is so many jobs. There really is so many jobs to go for. And if you're willing to travel in Australia, I'm telling you now, beware of the curse. But if you are willing to do fly in, fly out, be loyal to the team that's loyal to you and trains you.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be on some massive bucks. You can set yourself up big time.
Exactly.
The problem is, it's like soldiers. They start living like rock stars when they go overseas. They get those big dollars. They get the Benjamins in the wallet. They spend them knowing there's another trip coming in another 2 years.
Yeah. And
then they end up out of the army paying full rent, maybe paying maintenance, looking for a new job, and left with those card repayments that they didn't think were going to be a drama yesterday, and they got out for the wrong reason.
Exactly. People need to make sure they're realists when they look at any transition in life. When things are good, make sure you save a little bit.
It's true. I've got some awesome questions down here. We've got Sarah Brooke. Kane, when is your session? Mine is the 28th in Newey. 28th of which month, Sarah? Can you please just throw that down there, love?
And I'm guessing Kane's is in about 5 months.
Yeah, he's just got he's getting better with his aptitude tests. Let's see how he goes.
Yeah.
Fergie says, Black Eyed Peas. Kaz, what's next for the channel? Any plans for now? There absolutely is, Fergie. At the moment, what they're and I'm about to talk about something a little bit controversial because I'm going to talk about to the ex-missus about this one. But I think my daughter is getting to the stage where I don't ever want to just have a phone full of her photos. I understand the dangers of having your children being online, etc. But how is it any different to Facebook, Instagram, and all that sort of shit? I would have no problem now with my daughter being on certain videos to do with travel experiences, fun, laughing, conversations.
Yeah, it's a shame if you can't.
Sorry, love?
It's a shame if you can't.
Yeah, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm never more than a metre from my daughter other than when my ex-missus is with her.
Yeah.
So, and you don't get much more protective than what I am with my daughter.
That's true.
You know, so she's in safe hands. But other than that, we're buying a van, mate. I had the choice. I've got about probably 160 grand to play with, which is could go back on a house, but I'm about to hold the bat up high, 50 years old.
Yep.
And well, it is. I could go back towards buying a house where a bank says you don't have the working years left in you to be able to pay off a house. So therefore the answer is kibosh, no.
Yeah.
I've had 5 houses, one of them for 20 years, and sold it for less than what it was built for, brand new. So that tells you how shit I am at making the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy a camper van. So my years between 50 and 60 are traveling around, putting backpackers in that said vehicle too, as my daughter needs less daddy.
Not creepy at all.
And then asking them if they heard about Wolf Creek as I put the indicator on and drive off the road. Sarah, in January, this month, from Newcastle, that means that you are actually going to go and do your intake at Sydney as well, Sarah. Hand up, put it like that, not like that. That'll get you in the shit. Different army.
Don't do it. Stop it.
JC.
Hi, JC.
Thin blue line. Ed's still awake, JC. He's got a little bit of, not narcolepsy, the opposite. He's got a bit of insomnia at the moment. Can't sleep. So we're entertaining him a little bit. We've just promoted him to a spanner. Right? So there he is as moderator now. For those that don't know, JC is our thin blue line, the 5-0 if he was in Hawaii, but he's not. He's in New South Wales. He's just injured himself opening a jar of Vegemite for a feminist who took it off him and then opened it for him. And no, he's coming back. There you go. My fat ass is on the treadmill listening. Well, if you turn it on, you'll get something something good out of it, JC. He's in Queensland, Gold Coast. Mate, we're talking about a line that is between 2 different KFCs where people will still go for Queensland over New South Wales, vice versa. What a great place to be a cop, but geez, there's some dickheads up there.
Yeah. There is everywhere, really.
The beaches are beautiful, but.
Yep. Lovely.
Yeah. I don't see how you're going. And it isn't actually Jesus Christ team. You know, we've got Donald Trump on here. We've got Ed B. We've got Dave D. We've got Mr. P. We've got lovely Lauren. And we've got JC. You know, our spiritual leader, if you will.
Yeah, he's great.
He is great. And he's been here for a long, long time. It's great to have him here. Team, it really is a blessing that our channel is small enough that we get to talk to all of you guys in the chat. And I was saying before, JC, the channel just hasn't felt the same. And one of the reasons was because we just didn't have this streaming working. Tonight it's working, not to the level I want it to at all. Sorry, Lauren?
I just said, but it is working.
Well, it's working, and having the second person on, Kane says, hey, Kez and Lauren, I hope to kill my U session. Look, you will, mate. Just keep at it and don't rush it. Don't rush it. Having a second voice on, one, it gives credibility that you're not just giving one side of the coin, so to speak. But two, why can't we donate anymore? Hannibal, I'll quickly cover this one. I'm not going to allow people to donate to this channel anymore through Super Chat, even when that function is available, Hannibal, for the simple reason that YouTube did nothing to assist us in getting our old channel back. And I don't like the the percentage that they keep of your good razoo that you give. So if you ever want to donate to this channel, the front page of the channel and all of that money basically goes to my daughter into her life savings, is on the PayPal account there, or don't donate and just become a Patreon. And then you can be on the bat phone where you can call me or you can text me, and there's no need for there's no need for texting other than to say, hey, Kaz, can we have a chat?
Yep, and it makes you feel really good being part of the Patreon too, because there's a lot of exclusive content and you do really great stuff, and it's always makes me nearly cry every time I see you and Dicko out doing something great.
Does it spin you out that the productions we make, the ones that get the least amount of views, is when we're doing something for someone else? It really.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's if I want no one to watch a video, go out and do some nice things for people. It's like everyone's going, no.
No, maybe you'd get more views if you were an ass.
Maybe.
I don't want to, though. That's not a suggestion.
Well, this is. I watch a lot of the Australian channels, and I find that they're a lot better than a lot of other countries' channels. Yeah. Because we know that someone's going to run into us. But no, I love it. I was with Dicko yesterday, Mr. P. We were going to whack him on the camera as he was cooking some ribs yesterday. And I know this sounds pretty heathenistic, but yesterday was the first time I've ever had ribs. And it was absolutely a pleasure.
I've never had them either because I have this aversion to getting sticky fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Were they good?
They were really good. The meat just fell off. I felt like a cannibal, actually, because they sort of look like the same size as what a human's rib cage would look. And when you're sitting down to watch the UFC with a face full of barbecue sauce like Jeffrey Dahmer, AK says, hey, Kaz, thoughts on people with faith religion in the army? Absolutely no drama, mate. You're a Christian, so am I. But that is for me. I don't want to bother anyone else with. Look.
Yeah. It wouldn't matter if you weren't. The Padres are well versed on every religion that they can be, even if they're not of that denominational tradition. Like even paganism, they understand that enough to be able to help you out. No matter what your religion is, there is someone who can give you spiritual counsel.
That's a really good point there. And Dave D, you're probably bloody right there, mate. Religion in the military. Since the dawn of time, remember that almost everyone gets religious when they feel like the maker is close. Yeah. No one cares what religion you are. They care how it affects them. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're Islamic and you go and find a space to pray numerous times a day, I don't give a shit. You know, if you do it just before you're about to get attacked on and start to go, oh, what's he saying? You know, spirituality is a beautiful thing, and it means something different to everyone, and very intelligent people are religious too.
Yeah.
And don't push it down your throat. It's Ed B says US military has exactly what Lauren said too.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty standardized, I think.
Yeah. You know, the reason why Christianity got in so much shit in Rome was because they said the thing that that Islam says now, that basically there is only one God. So there was Saturn, there was who are all the different gods? So shit,
the whole pantheon. Yeah, they had a pantheon.
But they just got angry because people were saying Christianity, there's only one true God, and they're going, so you're telling everyone they're wrong. We don't care who's right as long as someone is, as long as someone's praying, we might be okay tomorrow.
However, there's like a philosophical conundrum called secular humanism, and that means we've all got our own different truths and things like that. But the problem is I'm a Christian too, and my truth does say that their truth is wrong. Yeah. So my truth's still true.
Yeah, and someone said to me the other day that it was my mate Carl, said, what's the difference between an atheist and someone who believes in God? And an atheist is someone that believes in one less God than someone that believes in Christianity.
Exactly.
Who says there's only one God. So an atheist believes in none.
I think I just don't have enough faith in humans. You know, I can't just believe that this is all there is. But that's a whole different conversation.
Look, we've built a reputation that humans are predominantly good, and that is an argument in itself. If you're predominantly good, why do we have laws to go against our animal instinct? Timmy Dow says Padre Caswell. I don't know if a Padre actually has to believe in the cloth. One of the things I will tell you about Timmy, and Ed B can assist me on this one, the saddest things you will ever see in a military career in third world countries, because the poorer you are, the more chances you're going to be religious. And I'm not talking about necessarily in Australia, I'm talking about third world countries.
Yeah. Because
they believe in some way that they're getting punished for, and what they do in this life will mean they don't have to live this life again in the next. So everywhere I've been with the military, although it gives people hope, it's also where the enemy know where to find them. And the most horrible atrocities nearly happen always at religious locations, at churches, etc. I've been around a bunch of churches that have had significant massacres, including Caballo in 1995, which is one of the world's worst. So it's a tough one. Hope is better than no hope. And when you see someone with no hope in their eyes, and I know that Ed has seen this, it is a very distressing, sad thing. It really is.
Yep, it'd be awful. And I think we all have to just be kind to each other as well. And I think that goes both ways. I think sometimes the left think they're being kind and that they're the good guys and the kind guys, but all the meanwhile, they're being very unkind to people who have, offered to pay the ultimate price for their safety.
That's true. And here's Fugly, and he's got his lovely lady. He was a missionary for 2 years in the Philippines.
There you go.
So that's a crazy place where the North and the South are just worlds apart. But you learn a lot when you're around those sort of locations. One, you can't help everyone, and two, there is it's not your place to also take away their faith by telling them what you think.
No, absolutely. Look, everyone gets to make up their own mind. We live in a beautiful time in the world. It's better than ever. We all can get to pick. You can be an open Satanist if you want. I'll still sit and have tea with you. In fact, I have some members of my very close family who are. So, it's everyone has to be big enough to let everybody make up their own mind.
It's I totally agree. And that's why in the Trenches with Kaz 1, my first channel, my very first subscriber was one of my Islamic friends. And I met him as a private soldier who was going through Singleton, and I explained to him, and I asked him some questions in general speak about Islam with him, and I had some conversations with him. And after that, I said to him, mate, and this is unheard of from a sergeant to an IET, initial employment training guy who was getting out of the army. I feel like we're meant to know each other, and we swap numbers. And now on Christmas, when there's a bad situation for Islam or a bad situation for Christianity, he'll ring me to make sure I'm okay, and I'll ring him to say, look, that's this, and it's a really beautiful thing. And he's a lovely kid. And for the people in the chat, what I found absolutely and maturity about this guy that really blew me away was when there was a lot of Islamic crime happening against the Christian world, the Western world, etc., and including the Muslim world. And we had 60 soldiers on Newcastle Beach there. And I said, well, what happens if someone came over now, Islamic, and started having a go at us because the war in Afghanistan was raging, etc.? And he said, quite simply, it's my fight. You guys would have to stay back, and I would have to go and beat him within an inch of his life, because I'm the only Islamic person here to show him that what he's doing is wrong. And I went,
that makes sense, though.
And I thought, what a beautiful thing to tell everyone, you're my brothers too, and not based on religion, but based on the shared location we have. And I know that Ed has had some good friends overseas that are also Islamic. They're not they're not as religious as they make out,
They're like everybody else.
When they're not being watched, they just want to watch sports.
Exactly. Some people pretend to be super spiritual and like to live like that, and good luck to them. And other people like to live really mundane lives, and that's okay too.
Yeah. There you go, Ed down there. He's a man of short words today. I do. That's because he probably hasn't got his glasses on. And
You don't have yours on either, mister.
No, I don't. You just look awesome over there. JC, I met some lovely locals in Afghanistan. JC is also one of our veterans as well.
Yeah.
As well as being a police officer and ex-RAFI. So it's a confusing thing. And he's even trying to join the army, I believe now. He is the meat lover's pizza supreme.
Yeah. He's really going for it, isn't he?
He just heard girls like a guy in uniform and he went, I'm going to try every one of them.
But it's true.
Kassar. I always think of someone with a curved sword on a horse or a camel charging over a sand dune. I looked into every religion because I'm atheist. Okay, Islam, Christianity are almost identical, but very difficult due to the way they express and show beliefs. I personally like Buddhism the most.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it, but they've got their own terrorist cells now.
Yeah, I have a bit of a problem with it, like especially with like the Dalai Lama and that. I don't follow gurus. You know, I think all men are fallible. You know, whoever they are, male or female, they're fallible. So I don't generally hold up a guru. And any other Christian will tell you that loving Christ isn't the same as that, because he wasn't. But with the Buddha, you know, like the Dalai Lama tells me I shouldn't desire anything. And I wonder why he desires his country to come back from China, though.
Yeah.
So everyone's human. Everyone's a hypocrite sometimes. So that's where I have a problem with it. And also I've seen there's so many angry Buddhists. There's so many angry Christians. You've got a spectrum of people. Doesn't matter what the religion or fashion or, you know, whether they're skinheads, punks, rockers, whatever. There's good and there's bad and nice and ignorant of all sorts of people.
Wait a sec. I'm just looking at a few things here, but I totally agree with what you're saying there. Which one was it I was looking at? Ed B's going to bed and sleep. No, I don't think he is yet. Once he can't sleep, he can't sleep, eh? Kaz, I know someone at Kapuka at the moment that has been picked out to have a crack at SF. What do you think? It doesn't happen, mate. Matty, you know, if you go to Kapuka, you're normally locked into a position unless a position has come up for someone's fallen out of direct entry commandos, and then they've had an interview there that has said, hey, mate, you might be that, which means that then he will still go to the School of Infantry just like anyone going to infantry, and then you will go on to the components of direct entry special forces commandos, which is the hardest possible way to get into commandos. I feel like it's like a lot of the ladies that are getting into the army, they get lied to that you can do everything. You know, women should get very nervous when they go, why are you offering me half the sign-on? Why are you doing all of this bullshit, this showing ads of me wearing makeup when you're not allowed to wear makeup in the army with their hair up, smiling? Why is it you're trying to get me in for an extension of something that is not correct? My fear for the guys, it's great for commandos, but it's not necessarily good for the people that can get basically wrung out competing against sergeants, section commanders, operational bloody warriors, you know, on their way to be that commando before they go to infantry and then learn the speak that is weapons, that is ranks, that is all the skill sets that come with hunting humans that you learn in the Royal Australian Regiment. Flynn, because I've already had my U session and I'm in year 12 this year and plan to join the army next year. When would be a good time to have my assessment session? You can do it whenever you want, mate, but I'd wait until you're 18 or 19 before you join. Let your body get some scaffolding, build the muscle on, because this is the rest of your life until someone or something talks you out of getting out of the military. Always assume that, yes, you're going to get in, and two, you're going to be in for the rest of your life, you know, because you will be a completely different person 6 months after joining the army. All right, so make sure you do it properly. Make sure that your body is ready. Make sure your administration is ready. Make sure that you've said your goodbyes, and don't take a fledgling relationship into the army, because it's going to hurt her.
Yep.
Or him if you go into Navy. Stick me. They told me I could become an officer easy after hours, so I went to Kapooka instead of waiting for officer intake. And yet, look, you can swap over again once you become sergeant, etc. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. That's been pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It really flowed tonight, and it seems like the sound is still doing all right. Are you watching the screen at the moment, Lauren, or are you?
I'm watching the screen.
Oh, so you're not sitting on a stopped treadmill either?
No, I'm sitting. I'm on my bed. I said, I was editing a video.
You're on a bed at the moment with 44 other people. That's disgusting.
Don't say it like that. That's creepy now.
Shit. Time to have a sleep, Mr. P. That's all right, mate. You're going to have a sleep, mate. And well done on, really well done on your granddaughter, being there for your granddaughter catching her first fish.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And they returned it, Lauren. He didn't put it in the pan, so that's great.
That's so nice.
Fire Live, I don't really go into my emails at all, mate. Sorry. For people that really need that one-on-one with me, I lost my life with the last channel, because what I'd do is I'd put my phone number out, or get Lauren to give my phone number out. And as soon as the cock woke up in the morning till the bell struck 12, I would have phone calls, some appropriate, some inappropriate. So what we've done now is wherever possible, unless it's in a unique case, for our Patreon, if people want to get online with that, okay, for individual coaching, as long as it takes, that's $5 a month. That's all it is. To have a direct line, have your name in this phone only. Okay, my daughter's in this phone, her number, and my mum and dad. Right?
Yeah.
But other than that, you'll have a phone dedicated to answering your call sitting in my pocket. $5 a month, team, and I give that to other people. I don't keep that for me to get yet another of these boy band haircuts. So do yourself a favour, do others a favour, and if you can, team, become a Patreon, get your own regimental number, your Legion number. I'm only going to allow 480 people to join, all right? And the people that watch it, they get a lot out of it too. A lot of counter points. Yeah. Kane says he was thinking about joining the army as an infantry soldier. Okay.
Really?
You do what you have to do, mate, but Stick, is that the phone I suggested? I think it is Stick.
Yes, it is.
I got this the day after you said it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you actually are one of our Patreon recipients and you're here at the moment and you haven't been on Patreon to look, what I need is for you to text me. You'll see the number in Patreon, and in that number, text me who you are, because your numbers aren't part of your Patreon account. And then it goes into the phone, and then after that, I see your name pop up. I know you're there. Good to go. We already haven't put a message up, I don't think, on the Patreon account, because every bit of messages come through this phone, and then I get straight onto it. Yeah.
That's great.
It is good. I'm the worst dedicated member of this community. No, you're all right, Stick. You're great, mate.
Go down as like a famous In the Trenches idea. You changed the landscape of In the Trenches, Stick Man.
Capability. Yeah. Well done. Guys, 129 there, says Kane. Well done. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it all the time. Flinny Russin. Hi, Kaz. Is it hard to get in as a medic in the army? No, it's not, but yes, it is. What I mean is the qualifications aren't hard, but normally they're people that have previous medical training, and the fact that it is such a cool employment means there's always people going for it. There's several sectors in the medical corps within the army where some, they're not useless, but they're not very good, and you've got others that understand that a medic needs to be fit as hell, fitter than the average duck, so that their mind is still and they understand that when the going gets tough, that their mind is clear. They don't have tunnel vision. They're looking down at someone wearing exactly the same uniform as them, crying, bleeding, praying that you can put Humpty Dumpty back together. Now, your job is also not to jump in there and be the hands on yourself. Where possible, people like me, the platoon sergeant, you will ask for a work party of people then come and treat the wounded while you are the one that does the tree, prepares them for MASH to come running in and then take them away. So your lifesavers, this is where we get, and Ed will attest to this, and so will JC and the other veterans in the community here, including Donald Trump, who's a Somalia veteran, that our confidence comes from actually having our medics green light superimposed over our mission. So they're very, very important, but they need to take their job seriously, because I've been at, at Medivacs for mass Casavacs that have gone wrong when fatty boomsticks can't carry her own shadow, turns up and then is too knackered to do a job, and therefore injuries have then become second tier casualties. It's horrible. Southernland Adventures was up here before, and I forgot to say, and Ed will probably attest to this, that Southernland Adventures is one of the best Instagram accounts I've ever seen. He's an Australian guy. It's just next level.
Yeah.
Southernland Adventures. Get on. Can we do a stream raid, like a stream raid? I hope he's not on here at the moment. If you have a phone and you have Instagram, can you get on Southernland Adventures, follow him, and let him know Kaz and Lauren, not Kaz, Kaz and Lauren sent you to his Instagram? Because
you won't regret it. It's beautiful photography. What a beautiful lifestyle.
Yeah. It looks like Ned Kelly. If someone said to you, here's a photo, tell me what century this was shot in, there'd be people that get it wrong.
Yeah.
As Ed B says, as platoon sergeant, I kept my medic by my side at all times outside the wire. Was that because he was really, really good at making coffee? Because I know the SIG always was good at coffees and noodles too. Please say, says Amini Toral. Please say.
What?
I don't know. You're speaking.
Is that someone new? Hi, new.
If you're new here, fantastic. Everyone, some Amini Torwell TV. Everyone, throw some hype in there. Say g'day. You're very welcome here. This is a very giving channel, but don't ever take our kindness for being toothless, because we have got, I believe, one of the best channels I've ever seen. And what do I mean by that? If I look at a puppy's video, for some reason they still get thousands of thumbs down. This is a channel I believe has one thumbs down person that attacks some videos. But other than that, we've had videos that have got 5,000 and 10,000 views in our last channel. This one got scammed and we've started again. But we'll go thousands of views without a single thumbs down. And all while talking about controversial subjects that you can't talk about in a university bar or coffee shop.
Yeah, but we're up for a respectful chat. You don't have to agree with us. Everyone can be different here.
Yeah. And that's what we mean by diversity.
Yeah.
And when you have wisdom, because you've lived life, it's hard to pull the wool over your eyes. And to the young people that are, Mr. P, to the young people that are out there, one of the worst things that happens in our country is that everyone has the right to vote, because the right to vote used to be something that was earned by having a dog in the fight, by having blood in the game, by having a child in harm's way if the politicians get it wrong. But what it is now is, it doesn't matter if you're Fred Hollows. It doesn't matter if you're a surgeon. It doesn't matter if you're the head of police or you are Mother Teresa. Your vote is worth no more than the foot dragger that you find hanging out in the car park, picking up cigarette butts out the side of, German supermarket. Audi. Yeah?
I don't know. We don't have one.
Yeah. Oh, Audi's awesome. Yeah. Thumbs down. Fire live. I think we've got a thumbs down. Oh, shit. I've fertilised one. There you go.
No, we don't really care.
Yeah. Aldi is good, but the same shit is never there, so you always get let down. Guys and girls, we might let you get out of here now. We've been on for a long time. It's only 8:38. Look, if you want to talk until 9 o'clock, let's get some thumbs up. If you want to talk, Lauren, do you want to keep talking?
Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah. Imagine, whenever I see Stickman, I think of a really tall, thin guy, like the smoking man out of Charlie's Angels, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is what he is at all. It could be fake news, that name. Jay over in Western Australia says, talk, please. Jay is one of our longest subscribers too, and it's always a pleasure to hear him.
It is.
Yeah. Can we get some sort of symbol up there? Exo, good to have you here, mate. Can we get some lot of thumbs up here? Cheers, guys. Can we see some sort of symbol for anyone that is a new subscriber tonight? Ed voted for more Lauren. Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't vote for this horse head on being on there either. King Carnage, I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about the one behind me. Kaz, how many phone calls would you get a day from subscribers? King, at the moment, almost none. It seems like the Patreon now are quite happy with just a text and, okay, thanks, or a phone call, and then I'm the one that makes a lot of the phone calls. It used to be anywhere of 10, 15 more, but it wasn't the fact that I was getting the phone calls. It was the fact that I talk too much. There'd be subscribers going, I need to get off, Kaz. And I'm going, no. What about this? I had conversations that turned into friendships in single phone calls. It was really, really good. So I can't trust me to have open dialogue with everyone because my daughter just sits there tapping where a watch is going to be one day.
We chat for a long time sometimes.
We've got 2 subscribers. We've got 2 watchers there because Flinny's saying got the stream running on his PS4 and his phone. I can't believe you're in a PlayStation. Xbox all the way, mate. Better controller. X marks the spot. X gonna do it for you. Grumpy hasn't been on here tonight, and I'm probably going to make a really, really big mistake in the next few.
Then don't.
In the next few months. Now, what it is there's a camera that's coming out. I can't put Lego together anymore with my patience. And I'm looking at getting the 1DX Mark III.
Oh, yeah.
Very expensive, but it's like the perfect sword put in a peasant's hands. I don't know. I just want to have the best of something once, to enjoy the photography, to be able to have something that allows you and puts a spark under your ass to make you go outside and live. Because I'm telling you now, guys and gals, Lauren won't know, she's in her 20s. But when you get in your late 40s, it can actually get really, really hard to go outside. It can be very easy to stay inside, and Netflix, YouTube, which has taken over network TV, you've got to have something that gets you outdoors. Otherwise, man, it's easy to look at someone and go, oh, but Kaz, you're not fat, you still look fit, etc. I can tell you now, I would have a hard time opening a box from Amazon at the moment. I've just got a lucky metabolism. I feel so drained, so tired all the time. And that's because another thing that men in particular are really, really bad for is eating nutritional food when we live by ourselves. We will die from the inside out, I tell you.
Yeah.
Fergie, what are you saying there, love? If you're looking for video, Kaz, yes, but if you're thinking photos, probably nothing better on the market. Okay, sorry. If you're looking for videos, Kaz, yes, but if you're thinking photos, probably nothing better on the market. Photographer myself. There you go, Fergie. This is what I love about our goddamn channel. And I'll tell you what else. Fergie, if you ever think about getting involved with the Patreon, my photographer, I know we don't get paid much as photographers. If you're ever on Patreon, what I'm doing soon is there will be a photography competition from those on Patreon for some sort of, whether it be an idea that our channel will back or something that will be going out to the people inside there to say they've been paid for their photography. It'll be fun, and we might make it that it has to be done on your phone.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So it comes down to composition, not down to the ability of the phone, and it has to be taken within 24 hours of the green light, so to speak. Yeah, that'd be a great one. Got a Fitbit? I do have a Fitbit, and we used to do Fitbit challenges, and I'm going to do probably another Fitbit challenge out there soon, Fugly. I'd love to have yous all on Fitbits. You know, in some places in China, everyone is on a Fitbit so they can work for their social points to make sure that they're not a net liability on the medical system. And I think it's in Japan, some areas of Japan too, to make sure that the workers are still working and getting their fix of fitness to make them less prevalent to sickness. But I don't really like the government telling me to go for a run.
Yeah, that's a bit like, come on now.
Yeah. Fergie says, sounds awesome, Kaz. If you want to have a look, check me out on Instagram. Kaz, feel free. Okay. Oh, Jesus, you've made it a bloody hard name there. Wait a sec. I'm going to take a photo of that. And I definitely will, my friend. And you know what, Fergie? What I'm also going to do is I'm going to follow you straight away. The reason being, I'm always learning as well.
Yeah, exactly. The day you stop learning is the day you should just die.
Yeah. And this is also proof, team, that this is a two-way street. Although you can hear my voice, I hear what you say. And when I have conversations through the day, those conversations normally are amplified through our streams back at you to let you know that we do take it seriously. And quite often, the phone calls to my friends have now been at parity with the phone calls to our subscribers. Because if you call someone once, twice, 3 times, they don't answer, you normally don't bother ringing again until you get a call back from them one day. But there's people that need information. It makes me feel good to give someone information that they cannot find on the internet. Ed B, the Japanese do morning exercise before work in some places. Yep.
That's quite a good idea, though.
It is. They're a lovely people, but they're hitting the wall hard at the moment, and not many people know about it. And it's really sad. If you ever want to look at something that is really catastrophic, Lauren, we talk about mental health in the Western world, and we tend to self-victimize, but also have a loud hailer to say, I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Even before the Titanic goes down, I'm the victim. And in Japan, they don't do that.
No.
They tend to go insular and become introverted, and they go to internet cafes. There's a whole bunch of videos you can check out, and you should, on YouTube. And what happens is they initially, because you get rejected from families if you can't work, but jobs are also very hard to get over there.
Yeah.
So they go to the 24-hour internet cafes, and it might be 6 foot long and 1.5 feet wide, 2 feet wide, and then they live there. They live in the room with the computer.
Yeah.
Because there's showers, there's free noodles and shit like that. And that's where they live and until they have an early they hit the wall.
Yeah, is that really life?
It's what they have left. When you're living in one of the proudest societies in the world that can recover from 2 atomic bombs and from Fukushima, quicker than what our country can get over, you name it.
Yeah.
We have a car crash on a 4-lane highway in Sydney, and it closed down traffic for 2 hours. You're going, that's why you've got 4 lanes.
Yeah, exactly.
We have, JC, this is not aimed at you so much, but we have a policy in Australia that when police sirens or lights are going, we have to slow down to 40 kilometres an hour in a 110 kilometre zone, which puts everyone in danger. But you don't have to slow down for a civilian that's in exactly the same spot. We have super fines for not being registered, but almost minuscule fines for a child not having a seatbelt on.
Oh, that drives me crazy. If I think about it, with kids jumping around, I just can't stand that. You know, in my family, when we see a police car, we all have to sing "What's the Colour of a 2-cent piece?"
Yeah. And the police have heard it all before, and I wish you had the option when a policeman pulls you over, especially if you've got a family, or because in the military, your defending officer will determine whether you are in financial dramas or whether you're not, and we'll hit you with if you've got money problems or you've got a large family, we'll take time off you. If you're single, we'll normally take money off you for your crimes. But I'd love it if the cop pulls you over as a father or a mother and said financial or abuse. I'll take the abuse. And then JC goes, righto, get out of your car, gets you to go and stand 10 metres off the road, looks at you, has a few minutes to think, has a book of insults. You fat fuck. And then just goes to town on you. You're a loser. Yeah. You're a dickhead. Your family doesn't deserve you. They deserve better than you. You just put your kids in danger. What sort of dead shit dad are you? And then after that,
oh, God, really, it's just so frustrating when I see them, because I think it's not that hard, if you teach a kid from when they're little and you're consistent with the rules. Hey, look, the car doesn't move until you've got this clicked on.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I come from an era where there was no seatbelts for the kids.
Oh, yeah, we were bouncing around in the back of a Kingswood in one of those musket things when we were newborns,
Hey, kids, hold your grandmother's cigarette while she puts her, while she lights mine.
Please come clean the ashtrays in the maternity ward when I was born.
Well, Ed B's out of here now. He's going to get going. So let's all say good night to Ed B. Congratulations on your promotion, you insomnia bugger. And it was great having you here tonight, Ed. And say hello to Chantel. And if you feel like a phone call tomorrow, I'll be driving out to go and see the newest members of the Australian Army as they put their hand up for oath or affirmation. We may have none of our subscribers there, or they may go, is that Kaz? It might be the people from recruiting that go, he finally shows his face.
Like on Seinfeld.
Caswell. Jerry. Hello, Newman. Yeah. Say good day to Chantel. Give her a hug for me, mate. Sarah Brooke. Bye, Ed.
What a great community we've got. Look at everyone.
Yeah. He's not a talking horse either.
That's way too old for some of these kids.
Yeah. It's one of those things. This is the first time I've ever thought really how lucky we are to have been old enough to have been straddling multiple generations over multiple centuries, which means I know what it was like before phones, before computers, black and white TV, one bathroom. Sometimes the bathroom was outdoors, no seat belts.
Yeah, we had an outdoor dunny in one of our houses.
It's to be able to appreciate what you have now.
Yeah, exactly. I used to get on my brother's hand-me-down bike with the big sissy bar, and I used to just ride until the streetlights came on.
Yeah. And it was still just as dangerous, but they were normally family members that were the dicks, weren't they?
Well, that's even still, it's a bit like that.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Simon Powell. Our local Raffy veteran. I remember sitting in the back of Mum's VW Beetle. Straight away, I think about not Jeffrey Dahmer. I think about serial killer. Help me.
Wait, what? Who? What? You've gone to serial killer? What?
The Beetle.
Oh, that was that Son of Sam?
No. It was.
Oh no, that was oh no, you're not going to get it before me. Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Yes.
Ted Bundy. Sitting the Beetle in the area behind the back seat. We had one too there, a punch buggy Powley, and Mum and Dad had to get rid of it because they had twins as well. Because check crossing Africa and the Sahara by truck, Brady, imagine that.
Mm,
You know,
that'd be great, though.
Simon's all over it. Katonis is here too, team. Mr. P, we're going to get off at another 7 minutes, mate. This is your time to subscribe, team, or press like while you're here, the thumbs up.
Yeah, please click the thumbs up, make it blue. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click the bell so that you get all the notifications and you can be here on any streams with us.
Any given stream.
All the premieres, they were great. That war story was terrific.
Well, from now on, I saw something today where when we go into videos are going to be premieres from now on, I'm actually going to have titles at the start of the video.
Oh, okay.
So it goes into producer, goes into thanks to blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's appropriate to that rather than just an information video that just clicks on. You guys there in the comments are the wind behind the sails, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you'll if I only put out productions, we will never actually have the bond that we have that is created through streams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the streams, they just can't happen on weekends because that's your time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a family barbecue.
Yeah.
Everyone gets together.
Stickman, get that Patreon donation link in the description again, mate. It's also on the it's on the front page. It's on the front banner there as well. If people want to jump in there, and you're more than welcome. Make sure you go in the company that you want to be part of, whether it be Alpha Company, Bravo Company, Charlie Company, Delta, etc. Thrill Seeker is a special breed of cat that seeks out danger and licks it. Oh, shit. Hey, Mr. Washington, I cook. Sorry.
No, don't read it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, good. I got rid of it before you did.
Oh, okay.
It was someone very artistic with their menstrual cycle.
Spirit cooking.
Probably. I don't know. I don't think they'd know what that meant.
That's all right. Normally when we get a troll, it means that at least some new people are seeing the stream. Look, I'm happy that it comes with the territory. It does.
Oh, yeah, it does. Look, sometimes they're just so ridiculous, and that also makes everyone in the text bond. Like the time you went to when you made that stream and you said that controversial thing about the match. Was it boxing or?
Oh, yeah. That was when Khabib. Was that when he fought or something? It's something about Connor, you know.
Always do that again just for the thrill.
That was funny. Look, I've walked through villages before on operations with a rifle on my shoulder with a team of guys and a village that we're helping, and some of them were angry at you going, you're getting targeted nightly by bad guys. We're here to take care of the bad guys, and you're angry at us? Are you the bad guy? Or are you scared the bad guys watching you and be seen to be hating the hand that helps? It's a weird process. The troll is sort of that person that's really desperate for attention, but doesn't know how to set up a channel himself, or don't have the forethought to do so, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
That was a big one, Dave. Kaz, were you with 3R during Pitch Black 91? No, I wasn't, mate. During 91, I was actually I'd been an Army Reservist for 3 years. I didn't tell many people about that. I was actually going through my Kapuka and Singleton, and then I went into K92 the next year. Some of the hottest I've ever been in my life, you know. And I know you were there too, Powley, over at Tyndall and those areas that were, you know, hotter than a truckie's ass crack, but it was terrible. You know, that was where we got in trouble off locals because we were wading across a river so we didn't disturb the civilians. And it was the Fergie. And it was it was an area where it was so remote that the crocodiles, there wasn't many of them there. The reason why there wasn't many of them there was because they were massive. If you get to an area and there's crocs everywhere, that means it's normally not a dominant crocodile because they kill the smaller ones. And we're in an area that just had a couple that were massive. You know, they wouldn't have seen my legs, but someone that had normal size legs, you know, They could have got chewed. And we even said, Lauren, this is the deal. If a croc grabs one of us, we just all stab it to death, yeah?
Yeah,
So there's no reason to be scared. And everyone's like, yeah, good logic. If you said that now, mate, there's no – people will come in and try to help you from a shark. No one's jumping in the water to help you from a croc. Getting attacked by a future pair of boots and
save yourself at that point.
There's some cowboy boots coming towards you.
Well, that depends on what situation you're in, because if it's like zombie apocalypse, I'm going to be hunting down the crocodile for them boots.
If there's only one attack from the zombies, does it become zombie apocalypse?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it is zombie apocalypse.
Leave Harry alone. Mate, you haven't been – I actually – no. I feel sorry for Harry. I love Harry. He's made a big damn mistake. Let's summarize what's going on. Tomorrow we go to see the people put their hand up, oath or affirmation to join the Australian Army, their first day of their new life. Hats off to those people. Nutsu Cow, the White Warrior, mucho respecto, and I'll be there to go and watch them in the absence of having family there. The second topic was Harry and Meghan. Harry has made a massive mistake because as Meghan ages, but the nagging keeps going and her career fades, she is going to get harder and harder and harder to live with, but he's stranded there because he has his child with her. But he's given up so much. His life, he was born into privilege where he had the ability to be able to help with charities, to be able to guide the Commonwealth and be the wind behind the sail. He said goodbye to all of that, despite the closest people, including his grandmother, who has been working since World War II. And she's advised him.
Never had.
It's not going to go well for him. It's not, and yeah, I really wanted it to work.
Yeah,
but Mr. Short,
I hope it still does. Our Queen is very clever and loving and kind, so I'm sure she'll figure it out.
Yeah, as Timmy Dow says, we haven't talked about Harry in almost an hour. We are leaving him alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry's not going to want you to leave him alone the next couple of years. He's going to be, because all his military friends are now in another country. It's not going to be good for the bugger. It's probably the best friends he's made in his life. Over the 100-minute mark, Mr. People, we're going to call that a wrap.
Yeah.
Chicken wrap, if you will. Spicy wrap, my favourite. I really want to go and buy a whole bunch of Big Mac meals now so I can get the titanium cups that are actually cheap alloy, the Coca-Cola cups. But I want you guys to raise the bat, 50. I want you to take it easy tomorrow and understand that we have people, subscribers, who right now have spent their last night as a civilian that tomorrow walking through the footsteps of the Anzacs are about to start wearing the uniform with a shitty haircut for at least the next 6 months from summer into winter so that they can protect you domestically and abroad when politicians make horrible decisions. If you're following their footsteps of the Anzacs, then my hat always comes off to you. And where I can, I will come and see you. And I look forward to our streams being back. And if this is the best that'll allow us to do at the moment with this beta version of YouTube streaming, then this might be what we have to do. But we're going to...
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. The conversation was fantastic and it had depth because Lauren was here.
Oh, I always like talking to you.
Thank you. So to the guys and gals, it's time to go and wet your beds. All right? And that's the only way to keep the demons from being under your bed. T1, don't go back until 4th of Feb. That's a good leave right there. To the veterans, to the soldiers, and those that can't identify their military service because of the twisted and weird way we feel like our hierarchy is looking inwards instead of outwards at the threats. Mucho respect as well. The best thing I ever did was become a soldier, and survive it to now be a father. It made me appreciate what I've got. And lovely Lauren, thank you for tonight.
You're welcome.
Do you want to finish us off tonight, Lauren?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I'd love to finish you off. Oh, that sounded bad. Be careful.
in Kaz's trenches, someone said.
Oh, God. yeah, it's always great to see everybody in the community here, and I love seeing all the familiar faces. And I'm really glad that Mr. Patterson and Ed B and Dave D were here. But I need to have a conversation with you about Fugly, because we talked about making him a moderator and he thinks you've stood him up. So
We did.
yeah, but it's good you did that today, and I really appreciate them. You know, everyone's like family in here now, and we're tolerant of each other, and we let each other be whoever we are, and we wish the best for each other, you know, no matter what you're doing. If you're starting a diet plan or an exercise plan, or you just want to, you know, get job ready, or you're trying to finish school, or you're trying to do something creative, we do wish each other the best, and we try to support each other as much as we can. And it'd be great if we could go into the week with that attitude of lifting each other up.
Yep. I believe I can fly.
Yeah. So bye, everyone. Sleep good.
And Veruca Short, Megan is beautiful. I think she's one of the most beautiful women alive. But guess what? Beautiful women have brought down the best, you know. Okay. See you later, team. Take it easy. Wet the bed and take it easy. For those for tomorrow, put your hand up, but not like that. See you later. See you later, Laura. Bye.
Bye.